Hey everyone. Today we're testing a dull knife. The intro might feel a bit boring, but it's crucial to see how the knife really performs. You'll instantly feel the awkwardness and poor cutting. Anyone who's tried knows it well. You can skip this part, but watching will show if the knife is worth keeping or discarding. As you can see, this knife only tears the paper with a messy cut. If it were sharp, the cut would be straight and clean. To show just how dull this knife is, I'll cut a tomato. This real-life example will clearly demonstrate why a blunt knife tears paper and food instead of slicing smoothly. After just 2 cuts, this knife completely crushed the tomato. It looks really bad, almost unappetizing, but don't throw it away. It still contains vitamin C for immunity, lycopene as an antioxidant, and vitamin A for eye health. Instead of discarding it, you can use it in another dish, keeping the nutrients and avoiding waste. So let's get started. Do you recognize something familiar here? That's right, it's a shopping cart wheel. Anyone who goes to the supermarket often will instantly recognize it. You might think it's just a piece of waste, but actually it's not. I didn't buy it new. I picked it up from a scrap yard about 50 kilometers from my home. It's still sturdy and can be put to good use, so I decided to repurpose it as a part of today's homemade knife sharpener. This way we save money and turn scrap into something useful. But we won't actually need the wheel itself. To start building our homemade tool, we'll use the sturdy metal frame from the shopping cart wheel. Here, I've prepared a piece of wood with the right dimensions to serve as the base for our knife sharpener. You can refer to the measurements I'm showing on the screen to get a clear idea for doing it. We'll place the metal frame on the wood base in this position before securing it firmly. Positioning it correctly from the start ensures the knife sharpener will be stable and safe to use. Next, I've prepared a small piece of wood, smaller than the shopping cart wheel we used earlier. We'll use it as a pivot for the rod, allowing the knife sharpener to operate more smoothly. And I'll mark 2 points on the small piece of wood and drill holes there. One hole secures the wood to the rod, and the other attaches the moving part, allowing the components to fit together neatly and move smoothly. Don't drill both holes in a row. The first hole secures the wood to the rod, so check the size carefully. Once it fits, drill the second hole for the moving part using a smaller bit for a precise, snug fit. Alright, the holes are drilled. Now we'll secure this piece of wood into the metal frame of the shopping cart, but it will now serve as the rod for our knife sharpener. Securing it firmly at this stage ensures the entire tool is stable during use. Since my specialized tool is currently lent to a colleague, we have to secure the wood by hand. It takes a bit more time, but it's necessary to firmly attach the rod to the metal frame and keep the tool stable. Next, I'll attach this leaf hinge to the wood base. Its purpose is to hold the knife blade in place while sharpening, making the process safer and more precise. On the outer leaf of the hinge, I left a small gap. When sharpening, I'll tighten it to hold the knife blade firmly, making adjustment easy and precise. Here, I've prepared another small piece of wood, twice the length of the previous one. Time is limited, so I'll explain its purpose in detail later. Next, I'll secure the welding rod into the small hole on the piece of wood we just drilled, connecting it to the pivot. Please hold on, I won't explain the purpose of this piece of wood just yet. First, we need to ensure that the welding rod is securely fixed into the wood. This step is important to maintain stability before moving on. Of course, we can't go without sandpaper when making this knife sharpener. It's the key component that ensures the blade becomes sharp and smooth, giving the homemade tool real effectiveness. We'll only secure two sides of the piece of wood. On this side, I'll attach 400 grit sandpaper. The reason for choosing 400 grit is that it's fine enough to smooth the surface and create a proper abrasive layer, yet still coarse enough to sharpen the blade effectively without damaging the metal. It might be a bit wasteful, but once the sandpaper is firmly attached, we'll trim the excess to make the surface neat and easier to work with. It might be a bit wasteful, but once the sandpaper is firmly attached, we'll trim the excess to make the surface neat and easier to work with. Now the tool is complete. Watch my demonstration to see how it works so you can get a clear idea and apply it yourself at home. When sharpening, we'll start with the 400 grit sandpaper side first. Just follow my movements carefully, step by step, to make sure the knife is evenly sharpened. Spray a little water on the sandpaper and the blade to reduce friction and dust, then grind along with me. After sharpening one side, we will repeat the process on the other side of the blade. Just a light touch on the blade reveals its sharpness. Now let's clean it before testing again with paper and a tomato. The blade, after sharpening, exudes a refined, balanced elegance. Every curve and edge seems meticulously crafted, making it a perfect work of art. As for the ending, there's no surprise, just a moment for you to fully savor the reward of all your effort. And that's a wrap on sharpening your knife. If you found this tip helpful, make sure to like, share, and comment your experience below. And if you want more killer tips, hit that follow button now. Have you tried sharpening your knife this way? Let me know.